Hi guys, my name is Hannah and I will be your instructor for this course, or I have created this course for y'all. I am from Stockholm, Sweden, currently living in Copenhagen, and fell in love with FlutterFlow. So I have my own startup where our team decided to make an app, and you know, it's super costly to make apps or code apps nowadays. So we decided to use nocode, and that's where my passion for nocode came up, and I have ever since used it every day for many hours and tried to learn everything that there is to learn within it. So what is FlutterFlow? FlutterFlow is basically, as I said, no code. So you make an app by more or less drag and drop components into your app. And then you have a very or quite easy backend as well, where you have the data in Firebase, which means that you can practically create a complete app without coding anything. Yeah, so there's a lot of things we can do with FlutterFlow. I have made some quite advanced apps, but also quite complex, which means that FlutterFlow can actually handle that, which is super cool. So this course, I'm not exactly sure how many lectures we're gonna have yet, but we're gonna start with an introduction where I will teach you how to set up your app. I'm gonna explain how do you do the front end, and then how do you do the back end, and how do you connect those two so you can get a working app. Then I'm gonna show you a little bit of functions that you're probably gonna need to make a good app. For example, passing data. If you wanna make an e-commerce, you really need to know how to do that, for example. And then I will, from the start to the end, make a Twitter clone app, but also either an Airbnb or a to-do list clone app. So you will see exactly how you make an app from the beginning to the end. But that's it, that's me. Let's get started. Let's do our first lecture, which will be to put on or set up your app. So I'm just gonna go through this quickly. If I'm too fast, please just pause the video and do as I do. So we want to create a new project. And here you will name your project. I will just have test, and I will create a blank one. And you want to, when you get here, keep this on, set up Firebase. That is our connection to our data later on, so keep that on. And I will go to next step, and we will do this in just a second. So just press start building. So this is how FlutterFlow looks like if you're not familiar. You're gonna learn all of these different stuff later on. But the first thing we want to do is connect to Firebase. So you will go to app settings, and then you will go to Firebase here. So we need to connect the Firebase project ID to a FlutterFlow. So to be able to do that, we need to put up a Firebase. So just Google Firebase, google.com, and press get started. I'm gonna go in with this email. So get started. And you will put add a project and put in a name. Continue. They recommend that you enable Google Analytics. If you have Google Analytics, keep this on. If not, you can always add it later. So yeah, I can just add mine here. Create profile. So there's a few things that we need to do in Firebase console. The first thing we're gonna do is give FlutterFlow access to our console, which will mean that we later on can connect the data in FlutterFlow to Firebase. So the first thing we're going to do is go to project settings, go into users and permission, and we will add a member. And we will add Firebase. Let's see, add flutterflow.io. So Firebase at flutterflow.io, and this will be an editor. Add member. So then we need to go into advanced permissions settings. And we will have to give this Firebase Flutterflow IE more roles. So we will add another role. And we will type in service account. Let's see if I get it. No. Service account user is the name. Okay, here we go. Service account user. And then we will add another role that is called Cloud Functions Admin. There we go. Save this and update. Ta-da. Okay, now you can close this one. So here you see your project overview. And now we want to connect it to the Firebase. So you will go into settings, to project settings, and you will copy the project ID. Then you will go back to FlutterFlow and copy paste that ID and press connect. Once we've done that, we want to auto-generate configured files. How do we say that? And generate files. Perfect. Let's go back here and we will press build and put on storage. So now we will enable storage, which means you can have exactly images, audio, and videos also as data. Let's do test mode. Well, so you can read about this yourself, but I usually go test mode. And then you will say where you are. I mean, Europe West. Come on. There we go. Okay. Then we will go in to build again, and we need to go to authentication. You will press get started and put email password. So you will enable email password, but also email links. So this is a way for users to sign in to your app. And let's also do that here if it's not on. So enable authentication. And to be able to do this, we actually need to have 2 sites on our app. So let's go here. We have our home page. Let's create a login. We can just do this quickly. So you just Google or search for page template, login. And we can use, this is not the one I like. Well, let's just create a blank one for now. Call it login. And perfect. So we go back to our authentication and we say the entry page will be the login. That's the first page you get when you open the app. And when you already are logged in as a user, you will go to home page. Perfect. Now we have made the first step and we have set up our app. Let's see if I missed something. No, what we can do though is create a collection. So this is the Firestore part in FlutterFlow. We will create a collection and we will call it user. And it will tell you that it looks like you're trying to create a user collection. And if you press yes, they will give you the most basic data that you probably will need, such as email, display name, photo. And now we are more or less ready to create our app. Hi guys, let's do lecture 2. And now we will talk about the front end part of building an app. And that basically means how does the app look like? And I will take it step by step. I am myself not a coder, which meant that it took me a long time to understand all of these things. So I will try to explain it very carefully. But basically the first thing we can do when it comes to the app's appearance is that we can go into app settings and we will go into our theme. So basically this is the theme of the app. Here you can see the colors. These are the standard ones. And you can, by just pressing, change them. Let's say I want this one to be my primary, and then I want this one to be my secondary. If you go down, you can change the typo. So title 1, instead of having medium, we can have it normal. We can change the font size. The same goes for the loading indicator. Here you can change to different kinds of indicators. You can also change the size and the color. This is a bit more advanced. This is custom fonts and custom icons. I will show you that later. But basically fonts that you have made or imported. Okay, so you don't have to decide this now. You can always change it later. But if you know your colors, do it now. So then we will go into our app. This is where the magic happens. This is where you change the appearance of your app. And you do that by going to the UI builder. So these are all your widgets. And widgets are basically everything that you can work with. So there's a lot of them, and FlutterFlow documents are really good at explaining the different ones. But I will explain the most common ones. So column and row are great. I really struggled with this in the beginning, but you always need one of them if you want to have other widgets on that side or on that side. So let's say we want to create, let's say we want to have a picture, an image. So all you do is press and you drag and drop. You have an image, and then we want to have a text under. Can you see? So all of these widgets are within this, and now I can have as many widgets I want in this direction. If I want to, I can also put a row there, and I can put different things in the row. So I have it that way as well. But let's see. So text is basically text like this. The way you change text is pressing on it, and you will get up a new little page here on the right side. Here is where you can change the widget that you have put here and pressed on. So for example, I can change it to a title 1. I can change color on it. I can say where I want to have it. And yeah, that is basically it. If I don't want to have it too close to the picture, I can do some padding. So if I put 15, it will go down a bit.
And here I can also change this. So let's say hello. And that is basically it. Let me delete that one. Then we have another important widget, which is called text field. So this is basically a field where the user can write in different things. So let's say we want them to write an email. I can write email and they will be able to actually write in here. This is just like a stuck field. They will not be able to change this, neither with the picture at the moment. And you can change this. Okay, so you can look at all these on FlutterFlow documents. They're, quite straightforward. For example, list view, if you want to make lists of something. Page view, you can have different pictures and you can slide through them. And more. And that is what we call a widget. Then if you go in here, you can find templates, which is basically FlutterFlow's own templates. For example, they have a get started button. So I can just drag and drop that here and I will get the whole thing. They also have more complicated ones. So example, if this is a post, I can put in this. Also different actions. They're great to have, and also it saves you a lot of time if they actually have one that you need. Then we can go to this one, which is custom components. Basically components that you have made. And the way you make them is by going into page selector and then going into components, where you can create a new one. You also have different ones here from FlutterFlow, but let's say I want to create a new one. Then let's say I want to create a header. So the first thing I would do is to put in a container. Container is great to have lots of stuff in. And then I would have a row. Let's say I want an image and a text. Actually, I want this type of image and a text. So we could say homepage. I don't want it too close. Make it smaller, and I will also make the picture smaller, let's say 80. If I want to change the picture, I would go in here to image type and I will put asset. Now I have a few pictures. This is my company's logo. So let's say I will take that. And here we have a header. Then if you want to put it into my homepage, I would just go to, here. And I will go to my custom one and I will put it in there. I already had a header. But something like that. It wasn't very pretty now, but you get the point. And that is basically the UI for the app. There's a lot more to learn, and if you go into all of the different types of widgets, you can see exactly what you can do here. For example, here I can put that I want it more round. I can put in how big I want it to be, how the picture is gonna fit into it. There's a lot of fun things to experiment with this. And throughout the course, we're gonna do a lot of UI. We're also gonna create 2 different types of apps, so you will get a better feeling for it then. Guys, let's talk about the database. So in the first session, we connected the FlutterFlow to Firebase. And this is basically where we're gonna see all our data that we're gathered from FlutterFlow. So Firebase is basically a cloud-based database platform that provides a backend to store data for mobile, web, and other applications. And FlutterFlow is more or less a library that connects Flutter apps to Firebase and makes it easier to add Firebase features to your app, such as authentication, cloud storage, real-time database, and so on. And with this, you need absolutely no coding. Also, depending on what you do, if you want to do a little bit harder stuff, you could also include coding if you want to, but you don't need to. So this is going to be a very short lecture. I'm just going to show you around here. Right now we have no data to show because we haven't gathered anything from FlutterFlow. There's no data really to be shown there now. You have your rules, which you later on can fix in FlutterFlow. And this is basically here. So it tells you who can create stuff within a different collection, who can read, write, and delete. We will go through this later as well. And where you find your database is here. And then you also have storage, which is where you will find pictures and other stuff like that. So if I would upload a profile page to my app, I would see the picture here. So there are two different things. And what you do in FlutterFlow is that you go here. And we set this up last time as well. This is your collections, and these are your documents in your collections. So when I have a user on my app, I want to gather this data on that user. And we create a new one by pressing here, and we could say, let's say we're selling clothes, and you will just create. And here you have some templates from before. So let's say the clothes are products. It would give me basically what I need. And I can also do new ones. So what don't we have here? Okay, let's say we want to connect the clothes to the users. So the users would sell clothes on this platform. I would have to say, okay, I am connecting this collection to the user collection. So it would be a document reference to user. But we have a lot of different types here, and we will go through them as well. But it's easier to show when we're actually creating something. And that is basically the database. And I will also show you later on how you connect this data from your app into here. So you will be able to see your whole database. In conclusion, I would recommend you to do some research on how to structure your data, because it's very hard for me to say depending on what kind of data you're gathering and how you're gathering it. But I will show you more in detail when we create a full app how you could structure it. Okay, that's it. So let's see how we connect widgets to database and the other way around. So I will show you how to connect data from the UX to the database, but also how you take data from the database and connect it to the widgets/design. This sounds a little bit complicated, but I will show you that it's not. And let's start the lecture by making a login page. So I just set this up. It's super easy. You just press a new page, authentication, and then you can choose different sign-in pages. And this is super easy because basically it connects you to the database itself, which makes it super easy. When we have done this, we can see that there's a little bug. So this basically tells you that there's something wrong with your app that you need to fix. So it's telling me that authentication page setup is wrong. And this is that one. So the initial page should be your login. And then when you have logged in, you can choose which one you want. Okay. So I have also created a profile page. So if you think a little bit like Instagram, this would be your public profile page that other people would see. And this will be the profile page that you can edit. Yes, so I have basically added what's your name, what's your, do you want to add a picture, what's your email, phone number, and address. And this is super easy to do. You also have different formats that FlutterFlow will give you, so you can just choose one of them. But let's start with seeing how do we connect widgets to the database. So basically, how do we save data to the backend? So here I have text fields, which means that the user can write in their email in this field. And instead of having name there, we should have another text field. Okay, let's see if it fits there. Yes. And what I do is usually I use hint text, which means it's just a hint, and when they press there, it would go away and they can write in whatever they want. So what we want to do is not have logout, but have save. We want to save all of the data that the user writes in here. So what we would do is we would go to actions and take that away because that was not right. And we will add an action. And then we will press update. Whoop. Update, and Firestore would come up here. So update document. Select reference to update, and this is basically the authenticated user, because all of these documents talks about the user, right? So we would take user reference, confirm. When we do this, we need to set the fields. So we need to say, okay, but if they write in email here, we need to know that the database understands that it's their email. So email come up first here, and we want to put it from variable. And then we want to set this to the widget states. So the widget states are these ones, right? And you can see that these ones are green, and I would press email. Perfect. And then you would do that for the other ones as well. So let's take display name from variable state, and then we would say name. Photo, it would also be from a variable, and widgets, it would be, oh, we haven't added that. Okay, so actually here we need to put this as an action where we would upload media. So you would put upload photo / media, which means when people press this, they would be able to go to the gallery and upload. You could take either camera or gallery or both. Let's do gallery just for now. And we will upload it to Firebase. So if we go back here now, we would be able to take uploaded file URL. We don't need UID, we can do created time. This just means that we know when they updated this information. Phone number, we will do the same, widget state, and we will take the widget phone number. Address from variable, widget state, address. Perfect. So what this basically means that when I as a user have written all of this in and press save, all of this data will be sent to Firebase. We won't be able to see anything now, and don't worry, it's just because we haven't actually written anything in these. So the next step is how do we show backend data in UI? So let's go back to the public profile page. I now want this picture not to be on a random woman, but to be the picture that the user actually uploaded. And the same with the name. This is fairly easy. I would need to press on the picture, and I would need to have it as a network, and then I would set from variable. I would go to my authenticated user and choose the photo. I would do the same for name, but that is up here. I would set it from variable, go to authenticated user, and press display name. And that is basically it. What you can do here also is, if there's no name written in here, you can have a default variable value, which says that if I haven't written in my name, this would be displayed. So I could say display name. Perfect. The last thing we need to do is, when I press save here, I want to be able to go to my public profile page. So I would need to add another action, which is navigate to my public profile page. And that's it. I can do the same here. I might want to have a button that says change, what do you say, edit. You can't really see this one. I'll change the color. And when I press edit, I want to navigate to my profile page. Let's see. Okay, sometimes these will tell you to update these ones, especially if you have entered new data in your app. Okay, so let's take a look how this looks like. This is what it looks like. This is my public profile page. And then if I press edit, I would come in here, but I would be able to fill in my information. Start making the Twitter clone. And what I usually start with doing when I'm starting doing an app is obviously the login and maybe the profile page, which we have done here. They're not very pretty. We will redo this one at least. But I start doing the UX, right? So I start putting in all the pages I need, and from there I work. I start doing the database, and then I connect the two. So when we're doing a Twitter clone, we need different things. Here you have actually great templates that FlutterFlow has done. But we're gonna add a page called user search. Okay, let's do, let's see the lists. So it's probably under content. Okay, actually, let's upload, no, not that one. Let's upload this one. So home social media 1, it's called. And we will call this homepage. Create page. So this is what it looks like. And then what we basically want to do is that we want to duplicate this page. And we will redo this page to our profile page. Okay, let's call it profile page 2, the upgraded one. Here at the home page, you do not have to have these things. You can keep the nearby one. We're not doing pictures because it's just like Twitter, right? So we will have the username. We can maybe have time, profile picture, and what they are posting. The profile page 2 would be kind of the same, but it would be my feed. So all the pictures that I have posted. And we have, yeah, I mean, the thing is we don't need all of these different ones. So let's take away that column. We just need one. Take away picture, and there we go. You can keep that or take it away. It doesn't really matter. So it looks like this. And here we can write your profile page. Something like that. Okay, then what we're gonna want to add is 3 pages where you can see the people you follow, the people who follows you, and all the users. Does that make sense? So let's use this one. This one makes sense. So it would be called people I follow. Create. And then we would duplicate this and duplicate again. So this is the people I follow. This is, we name this the people that follows me. You can write this better if you want to, but I'm just making it very clear. And this one would be, became long, all users. So all users on the app. And what we want to do on all of these pages is take away this list view because we don't need it. Yeah, let's keep it like this. We will do the same for this one. Let's take this away. And it's, right, we'll do the same here. And instead of having add members, we can write people I follow. We'll do the same here. People that follows me. I can't write follows me. And this would be all users. So think of this page as, you know, Instagram, when you can search for all the users that's on the app. That's this one. Okay, and those are all the apps that or all the pages that we need. So in the next one, we'll see how to connect this to the data. The database, and the database is fairly easy. We would add a new collection and we would call it tweets. And we will make this a sub-collection to users and create. We will start from scratch and we will have our field names. Our first one would be name, and this is basically the tweet that I'm gonna post. And the other one we will call UID, and this will be a doc reference to users. So basically what this says is that what I post on Twitter, we can see it's from me. The other thing we want to do is go to the user collection and we will add a field called following. This will be a list and a document reference to users. So we are kind of referencing to ourselves. And this will make sense later, but basically this means that we're able to put people in our following, so I can see which people I follow and which people follow me. Alrighty, our database still looks like this. It is very empty, so let's change that. We will change that by manage content. And this is basically putting data into your app. So we will add a document and then we will add 2 people here. So let's put Sarah gmail.com. Her name will be Sarah Luke. I will not put in a picture for now. We do not need to do this. Let's put a created time is now and a phone number just because. Perfect. And here we have the reference. So let's just create this. And there we got the reference. So if you just press it, it would be copied. And let's change this. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm not following myself, right? That's why we need to make another person. So let's make person number 2, Sarah Luke 2. Sarah. You don't really have to put in the email, but it makes it easier to see later. Created time is now, phone number. Perfect. So I want Sarah Luke 1 to follow Sarah Luke 2 on Twitter. So to do this, we're gonna copy the ID of Sarah Luke 2. So we copied it now and we will edit Sarah Luke 1. So we will go in here and we will add our user. So this is Sarah Luke 2, right? In Sarah Luke's 1 user profile. Create. And we can do the same. We don't really need to, but you can do the same for Sarah Luke 2. So you will copy the first one and put it in here. Copy paste. Ta-da! Okay, that is basically what we have to do. So if we go here now, do you know what we should do though? Let's go back to FlutterFlow and validate the schema, because that makes sure that your data gets connected to Firebase. And you don't have to worry about these ones yet, we will get to that. So if you go into Firebase and you update it, here we go. We get the data that we put in. So here is Sarah Luke 2 and Sarah Luke 1. Okay, so now let's see, or in the next lecture, we will see how to actually connect everything. I just realized that the homepage that we did is not gonna work, so we're gonna have to use this one, which is called Home Social 2 as our homepage. So just change that quickly and it would look like this. And what we will have to do here is this is our social feed, and then we have user posts. But we only need one user post. So we're gonna go ahead and take away the other ones. Perfect. And we're gonna do as last time, we're gonna take away this rows. And yeah. Perfect. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna connect the UX with the data. So let's start with the home page. This is what it should look like. We're gonna go to social feed right here. And we're gonna create a query, backend query. You wanna say query from collection, and we're gonna put it as tweets. Leave the value source, but we're gonna need it to be a list of documents. Then we're gonna need a filter, which is gonna be UID is in authenticated user following and no further changes. This basically means that all of the posts I see here are from people in my following. So these are the people in my following. I hope that makes sense. And then we're gonna create confirm. So it's gonna come up here a list of all the people I follow with what they have written. Then we wanna go to user post, and we're gonna add a backend query. So we're at this little guy, right? Add a backend query, and this is gonna be a document from reference. And it's gonna be about the user instead. And here we're gonna take tweets document and we're gonna make a parent reference. So we are basically connecting the user to the tweets. And you don't need to change anything here. And we will press confirm. And what we can do now is connect all of the text we have here. So if we go to username, we will go into the user document and we will press the display name. We will do the same with the picture. We will go to user document and photo URL. And then when we go to the text here, we're gonna go to the tweet document and put the name one, right? So that's what the user has written and posted. Perfect. So at this point, this one is done. And let's go to the people I follow. So we're gonna do the same thing here with the query. So we can take away all of these except for one. So take away. Okay. Now we are left with one user list. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the list view and we're gonna query from query collection. We're gonna put user and a list of documents. And we're gonna do a filter here as well because we wanna see the people that I follow. So we're gonna do following, so people I follow, and it's gonna be array constraints from variable, and it's gonna be authenticated user reference. Confirm. So all the people that I follow, it's gonna be seen here. And put confirm, confirm. Perfect. And then we will go again to the user post or list 5 here. And we're gonna query users. Hold on. Yes. No, hold on. So we did users there. So we actually don't have to query. What we have to do is just put in the names. So display names. We can do email if we want to. And then we'll do the image as well. Photo. There we go. So we have connected. Then, you know, we don't really want to press here and view this person's account. What we want to do instead here is put follow. Or maybe in this case, unfollow, right? Because this is people that I follow. Let's make this a little bit like that. And then what we're gonna do on this is we're gonna update. We're gonna do an action, and we're gonna update Firestore, update document, and we're gonna put it as authenticated user reference, confirm, and we're gonna add a field. So we're gonna say here that following, and then we're gonna add to set, and here we're gonna put user reference, but from the user document. There we go. Actually, I think here we're gonna put follow, just follow like that. Because now what we're gonna do is put on a conditional visibility. So you just turn it on, and then we will go to authenticated user, following, and then available option, we will have a list contains item, And here we will have the user document and a reference. So this basically means that, oh yeah, and we want to apply opposite statements. So when I press here now, it's going to say unfollow or follow. So it kind of tells you the opposite, right? Okay, so let's put a nav bar on this so it's easier to go through the pages. We can put it as people. Okay, this is the people I follow. Okay, let's go to... shit. Go to the people I follow. And here again, I've taken away all the user lists except for one. And what we want to do with this list view is that we want to generate children from variable. So let's call it items. Ooh, items. And this will be connected to the following. Confirm, confirm. So the widget will now generate children. Perfect. Here we get a list of all the people I follow. And now we want to query the user list to users. And we basically do this so we can connect all of these texts to the users. Because if I do it now, I don't have users here, right? So I need to query it here. And we're going to do it document from reference, and it's going to be users. And we're going to take items item, because we named it items, right? Confirm, confirm. Now what we can do is actually, look at that pop up, woohoo. So we connect it to the different things. I think this was email. And then I renamed this to follow as well. Okay. Something like that. Then actually here, since this is people I follow, we wanted to say unfollow because I'm already following all of these people. And on this button, we want to add an action. And we're going to do an update. Let's see. So we're going to Firestore update document. And it's going to be about the authenticated user. And it's going to be a user record reference. Perfect. Then we will add a field. And this one will be the following, these people that we follow. We're gonna remove from set. And we're gonna put this into the, or this is gonna be connected to my user reference. Confirm. Which means that when I press here now, this person is gonna be removed from my followings. Okay. Let's see. Perfect. That's that. Let's go to the next page, which is people who follows me. So my followers. We want to do the same thing here. We're going to take away all of these ones except for one. Something like that. And we're going to go to the list view, this one, and we're going to query users. So we're going to query collection and we're going to do users. And here we're going to add a filter and it's going to be following, array constraints, and from variable, and it's going to be user reference. Confirm, confirm, confirm. Alrighty. And then let's see, we want to put together all of these. So we have the user document here because we created in the list view. So we're gonna have display name, perfect. We're gonna put my email and we're gonna do the picture. Actually, kind of, yeah, okay, let's do it. And then we're gonna change this one to follow because this is people that follows me. We don't know if I follow them back or not. Let's make it 100. And we're gonna, as last time, add an action. So Firestore update document. And it's gonna be authenticated user user reference. That done. And we're gonna add fields. So it's the same as last time. It's gonna be following, but this time we're gonna add to set. So we're kind of saying that we're not following these people. Yes. And then this is gonna be for the user document as last time and be a user reference. Confirm. Perfect. Now what we want to do as well is go back here and we want to do a conditional visibility. So we're going to turn this on and we're going to go to authenticated users following, and in the available options we're going to do a list contains items and then go to user documents reference. And here, yeah, perfect. And here we also want to apply opposite statement. Perfect. We're also gonna put on a nav bar here. So this is people that follows me. People. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, so people that follows me is filled in and people that I follow is not. Okay, so the next page is all users. Let's add this here as well, just because it makes it easier. And users, we can take this one because usually you go there to add new people. And we're gonna do the same thing. Take away everyone except for one. There we go. And then, as usual, we're gonna query the list view. So we're gonna do users because we want to show all the users. And we don't really have to do anything here except that we want to exclude ourselves. We don't want to see our user here. Okay, confirm, confirm. And now, as every other time, we're gonna connect this data. So we have username, we have Gmail, and we have picture. Photo. Okay, so we're gonna change this one to follow as well. And let's make it 100 as the other ones. Something like that. And here it's basically the same. We wanna update document. We're gonna put it to authenticated user, user reference. Add a field, we're gonna do following. And then here we're gonna add to set because we assume the people are here to find new people. And we're gonna do the user document reference. Perfect. Also on this button we'd want to do the same because we actually want to see if we follow this person or not. Let's say I'm Googling a person that I'm actually following. I want this to say follow, unfollow and not follow. So let's put this on and do authenticated user, user reference. Or not. Okay, let's not do that one. Okay, let's not do that for now. Let's go to profile page 2, so the updated one. Yes, I'm sorry, this is also gonna have to be deleted. Let's copy paste the home page. This should have been easier to do from the beginning, I'm sorry. Profile page. And profile page 2 then. And yes, so this one we can go in here, social feed, we're gonna remove and remove this one as well. So we're left with how it looks like in the beginning. So go to the social feed and we're gonna do a query collection of tweets. You can leave that one for now. List of documents, perfect. Or actually no, sorry. The value source. The value source is gonna be from variable and we're gonna put it to authenticated user reference. Perfect. We don't have to have any filters here. Query. So let's do it as we always done. We're gonna do this one, but we're gonna do it to authenticated user, because this is my profile page. So I actually just wanna see all the posts that I have made. So we're not gonna do it from tweets document. We don't even have the other document because we haven't queried it. So we're gonna do it from authenticated user. So it's my display name and it's my picture. So authenticated user, my picture. And then this one, as usual, is gonna be, oh, I got it right, but let's do it again. So from the tweets document name. Perfect. And this is basically all you have to do. So we have done the UX design, we have done the database, and now we have connected the two. If you press run mode, this is what you will see. And let's start here. So I just logged in with a new user. So these are the ones that I made in the database, if you remember. Look 1 and Look 2. And these are the people I follow. So I press the follow button. These are the people that follows me. No one follows me. These are all the users on the app except for me. So there are only 2 users on this app. And this is the home page. And no one has written or posted a tweet yet, so there is nothing to see here. Okay, but we want to be able to actually post a tweet. So let's go to homepage. And what we want to do is we want to go to the social feed where we have the query collection tweets. And we want to add a... No, actually, we don't want to do that. Let's go to our profile page. It will be a bit easier. Let's see. Okay, let's do it like this. So we want to add a row. And we want to have a text field. So where the people can write in their tweets. And we want to have a button. So this would probably say post. And this, just to make it a little bit more clear, I usually do outline, and we can have a border color of black and a border width of 2. something like that. And here we want to make an action. And we wanted to create a document. And the collection would be tweets. We're creating a tweet, right? And then let's see. So this will be authenticated user. This is me. I am tweeting this tweet. And we're going to add a field. And the field is going to be the name. And the name, if you remember, is what I write here. So we want to put it from variable and connect it to this widget state, which is this one. Text field, some hint text. That's that one. Perfect. And then we're going to add another field, which is this one. And we're going to connect it to the authenticated user reference. So again, I am the one tweeting this, which says here, basically. And that is it. That's how you do this. I haven't really thought about showing you how these works, but basically what you do is you do an action and you search for simple search on device. And you would do from files or collection, and this would be the users, right? So the people I follow. And maybe I will have to search on their names. So yeah, and then simple search. Filter listed. No, sorry. We would do widget states and it would go from here, right? So search members. And that is basically what you do depending on what you want to see here. But that's a really easy way to do it. So let's see how this changed. Before I test it again, I want to go into our Firebase. And what I want to do here is make tweets. So tweet is now a sub-collection of users. If you remember it here, it's a sub-collection to users. So what you have to do here is manually actually start a collection, call it tweet, and it would make an UID. And here you will be able to, at least in the beginning, do it yourself. So name, let's say I want to write, hi everybody, my name is Sarah. Update. Was this person's name Sarah? Well, yes, it was. And let's say this is also a tweet. And I wrote, hey guys, I'm really excited to be here. And when you do this one, you want to use the user's ID, which you can see here. Right? So you just copy this and put it in here, and you have this user in front of it. So let's try to run this one. Alrighty. So basically here we are again. And if I go here, I just posted a tweet. So I would say, hi guys, my name is Hannah. And then I could say, how are you all doing today? And so on. Hello, hello, hello. And what you could do if you want to see, because here is the home page. My posts are not posted here, only on my profile right now. So what you could do is you can try to log in run mode with different accounts and you can post. So if I would log in with another account now, I would be empty here, but those tweets that were here would be here. And that's it, guys. That's how you make a Twitter clone. And obviously there's a lot more you can do. I mean, you can have a like button, and that's fairly easy to do, I would say. You can also add pictures if you want to, and it would become more of an Instagram clone. But yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, also we have this one. You could do a pop-up instead, or connect this one to that one instead. I forgot about that one. But yeah, that's basically it. We're gonna make a shop, meaning that I'm gonna make a shop where I'll sell t-shirts and pants. And this is basically to show you how to pass data in between pages. So I will show you everything, but let's start with the design. So we're gonna need 4 pages for this. And let's find the easiest one. So we want to first do a list of our categories. So let's use this one. So this will be the shop homepage. Let's create this. Perfect. Let's just call this shop. And then you know the drill later on. We're not going to need all of these, but let's fix that later. Okay, then we're going to need a products page, which means that when I press on one of the categories, I want to come in to see the products within that category. I think the best one for this would probably be, we can do this one. I think this is fine. So this would be products. We can call it products within like each category. Perfect. Then the next one is when I have decided that I want this product, we want to have a detailed products page, which will look something like this. Wait, yeah. So this will be detailed products page. And then basically what we want, there's a lot of steps to making a shop, especially if you want to put in how to make people pay for it and stuff like that. So we're not going to go through all of that. We're just going to go through the steps up until that. So let's see. Then we will have a checkout view, right? Okay, so this will be checkout. Wait, okay, that didn't work. Let's try another one. Checkout, let's do this one. Checkout. Okay, there we go. This is basically the view of it all. What we can do now, as you probably know, is that we will take away most of these containers. Because we only need one since we are gonna query the other ones. There we go. Yeah, we can do that for the other ones as well. We are just gonna need one of these. There we go, LeBron. And detailed product. This we don't really need to change. I'm not going to show you how to make a size, so we can take that away. Yeah, but here we have the price, the name of it, a description. I didn't add that description, I think, did I? Oh, we'll come to that later. But we don't need 2 descriptions, so let's take that one away. And the last one, the checkout. This looks good. We're not gonna go through this either. And not this. It's fairly easy. You can do it yourselves. We don't need the count. Okay, so this is my checkout. It will look something like this. Perfect. So there we have the layout. The data. So we're gonna need 2 different collections. The first one is gonna call categories. I can't spell. There we go. Categories. And the other one we are gonna call products. So there are two different ones. They're not sub-collections. This is just an easier way to do it, or a better way to do it, I would say. So within categories, we want to have image, and this will be a photo path, and we will have name, which will just be a string. And that's it for categories. In products, we want to have a few more things. We want to have name, we want to have product image, photo path. We want to have maybe brand, which is also a string. Maybe we want to have a price. This would be an integer. We might want to have, what else? No, I think that's enough. And then the last one we need to have though is categories, document reference. Let's do it like this, ID. And this will be a document reference to categories. And this is all we need. But here, if we want to have a shop, we need to manage content, as always. So let's say we have two different categories. The first will be, let's do t-shirts. Add a document. And the second would be pants. I have found that it's FlutterFlow is not the best on uploading images. It doesn't always work. So what I usually do is I just go t-shirt, picture, let's do icon. It's better for this. So let's take this one, looks good. And then we will just open in a new tab. We will copy paste that tab, go back here and do an URL instead. So this works much easier. Let's do the same for pants. So pants, icon. Let's take, these are great. Open in a new tab and we will just copy paste this. Obviously, before you upload your app, you want to take pictures that you actually can use, that you're allowed to use. Okay, so let's go to products. We have different things, one of them being a document reference to categories. So if we want to start with t-shirts, let's copy paste the ID because we're going to need that. And let's do a red t-shirt. And we will copy paste the ID. Let's say it's from Sarah, costs 300 crowns. Let's say $30. The same here, upload picture doesn't go very well. We can just do it without picture now, you get the whole point. Then we can do a yellow t-shirt. Brand, let's say H&M, and it cost 100 crowns. Ah shit, I forgot to do that. Okay, so let's copy paste t-shirts again. And we will start with that one. Okay, yellow t-shirt, brand H&M, price $10. Perfect. Okay, let's do the other one. Let's do pants. So I copy paste that one and I'll add a new document. Let's say red pants. Copy paste the category. Let's say this is also from Sarah and it costs $30. And then we'll just do another pants. We'll do blue pants. Blue pants. Brand is Scandinavian brand. They cost maybe $60. And we will copy paste the category. Perfect. So these are the things we sell and these are the categories that we sell. So the blue and red pants will be in this category and the t-shirts would be in this category. And there we have the data at the, that's not the beginning, shop homepage. Here we want to show all the different categories. We have two categories, as you know. We have t-shirts and we have pants. So what we want to do here is take the list view and we want to add a backend query. And this is going to be a query collection and it's going to be categories. It's a list of documents and you don't have to change anything here. Okay. So basically there's nothing else we can do on this page right now. We need to go to this page and put on a parameter. And we do this because we want to send information from the shop homepage to this page. So we need to add a parameter to do that. So let's call it categories parameter. And it's gonna be a doc reference because we are getting information. And it's gonna be categories is the collection type. So if we press confirm there, we can go back to our shop homepage and we will take this container and put a navigation to it. So if, yeah, sorry, I could have done this. So categories, we're gonna have name, we're gonna have, let's see, we're gonna have price, no, index and list, didn't I have price? Maybe I didn't put on price, no I didn't, sorry, these are just categories. So basically all we need is a name and the picture. So image, there we go. Then we will go to the container and when we press this, let's say this is t-shirts, we want to go and see only t-shirts. So we will add an action, navigate to, I have a lot of pages here, sorry guys, but it's called products categories. And we're gonna pass data. So we're gonna pass it this one, yes. And it's gonna be categories document reference because we want to pass this reference to the next page. There we go. Perfect. Now this page is actually done. So let's go back here. And we want to query the page. So up here, the first one, we're gonna add a query backend. And it's gonna be a document from reference because we're getting still the reference from the other page. It's gonna be categories and it's gonna be the page parameter, categories parameters. Confirm, perfect. So now this side is connected to the other side. That's what it basically means. Okay, now we're gonna do same old, same old. We have our list view. We're gonna add a backend query. It's gonna be as normal, query collection. It's gonna be products. And then we're actually gonna add a filter. So the filter is gonna be our document, it's not reference, what's it called? Document collection. And it's gonna be equal to our page parameter, this one. So now even this list view is connected to the categories, right? Now what we want to do, which is quite unusual, is what we want to do an app state. Oop, I had a lot of app states here. So we want to create an app state and we want to call it cart. So this is basically all the products that you put in your cart that you want to buy. And it's going to be a document reference. It's going to be a document reference to products. So all the products we put in the cart, right? And it's going to be a list because it can be multiple products. Okay, create that one. We go back here, and what we want to do, no, we don't want to do it here. What we want to do here is when I press on this one, I want to go to the detailed product. So here, let's just do it as normal. We have our products document. We want the name, we want the price, and when you do price, you want to do number format and then no formatting. This will give you, it will look good. And then we will say, okay, this is from the brand, blah, blah, blah. And it has this image. There we go. So now this whole page is connected. Then what we want to do again, because we want to pass this information as we did with the categories to the next page. So we want to add a parameter here, and it's gonna call detailed parameter. And it's gonna be a document reference from products. Maybe it makes more sense now. Okay. So we want to go back to this one, and we want to press the container of the one product. We're going to add an action. We're going to navigate to detailed, where is that? Detailed product, and we're going to pass the information. And then you need to go here and use this reference. Confirm. Okay, so when I press this now, I will come into the detailed page. And so let's go in here, the detailed page. What we want to do, as we did the last time, we want to make a query on the top here. So it's a document from reference, it's from products, and then we can see that we have the parameter here. Perfect. So basically we don't need to do anything else because we're not going to query anything new. It's just the product's information, and we got that here, right? So we're going to do name. Did I do description? I did not, but let's say this is brand. And then we do price. And as I said before, number format, no formatting. And then the image, we want it to be the product image. Perfect. So what we don't want to do now is we want to have this add to cart. We can take away the $sign. And we're going to add an action here. And we're going to press update app state. We're going to add a field, and it's going to be our cart. So what we're saying here is when the user press the add to cart here, we want to add to list. And then we want to say the product reference. So we're adding this product to our cart. Okay. What we then want to do is add another action here because we want to actually... No, do you know what we want to do? Yeah, we want to navigate back to products category. You can do this as you want, but then if you press here, you add it to cart, you will actually come back here. So you can add more things to your cart. Okay, great. Then we have the checkout, the last one. And here we want to have a list view again. Is there not a list view? Okay, there's no list view. We'll make it ourselves. Let's just delete this. and we will add a list view. And in there, to make it look a little bit pretty, we'll have a container, and then we will have a we will have a row, and here we will have a image, so an image of what I'm buying. Also, we can do it like this. We'll have a column in here where we will have text and then text. And the last thing we want to have is an icon button over here. Okay, so perfect. In this list view, we want to generate children from variable. So we're gonna call this cart items. And we're gonna put this to our app state. This basically means that in this list view, we're gonna see all the items that someone has added to their cart. Press confirm, okay. Perfect, okay, now this looks a little bit weird. So let's just do like this. Okay, this looks better. We'll also do it a bit like that. Okay. Perfect. So on this row, we also want to add a backender query. So it's gonna be from products, list of documents. I don't think we do not need anything else. No, that is wrong, sorry. You'd have to do it on the container. So add a backender, products, confirm. Okay, this is totally fine. And now we can actually set, you know, all of these ones. I went into the wrong one, so we'll go to product documents. So we have the name and we will have the price. Oh no. Hold on, sometimes FlutterFlow is not working with you. Okay, let's see if that stayed. Okay, it did. So we will do again, price. Come on, there we go. And we will do picture, image. This one we're gonna change. So instead of having a plus, we're gonna say cancel. Perfect. And here we want to make an action again. And it's gonna be update. Did I do that right? Update, yeah, here we go. And we're gonna add our cart. So this is my cart. I want to take away this t-shirt. I don't want it. So I take my cart and I'm gonna remove from list cart items. So whenever I put it here, it will disappear from my cart item. And that's basically it, you guys. What you can do here, I mean, is add a button. Oh, wait. Let's see if this works. Okay, but what you can do is you can add a button somewhere here, and it should work just fine. And you can result. This kind of looked a bit funny, but these are our categories. We have t-shirts and we have pants. And if I go into t-shirts, apparently I can't spell either, but I have my yellow t-shirt and my red t-shirt. And the reason why it looks like this, it's because I did not put in a picture for it, but I showed you how to do that, so you can do that yourself. We have the brand, we have the price, and if I go into the red t-shirt, I will go into the detailed page. So here you obviously want a picture as well. You maybe want a description and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's basically it. That's how you do a shop. And here you can see your cart. I mean, this is does like that sometimes. I don't really know why. It's because it's telling me that we don't have. I'm not just even gonna. Okay, it's because you can't go in through a nav bar if you haven't decided which category. So let's do red pants and let's add this to cart and it will go to another page. That's my fault. But here we have a cart and let's say I don't want them anymore. I'll just delete them. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys. About animation. And there's a lot of, it's really nice to know animation because you can really, make your app unique with it. And it's fairly simple. It's not really complicated at all. I have built up a little start here, but maybe we should do it from the beginning. So I'll show two different ones. The first one is fairly simple. You just need some type of, you need a widget that you want to move. I'm just gonna use a container and let's put it like that so you can see it better. And then we need something to trigger this action. So we're gonna need a button. Let's make this a little nicer. Okay, something like that. So basically what we want to do is make this container move. So you will press on the widgets that you want to have some kind of animation. And you will go here. It's called animations. And you have two different ones. You have one that's called on page load. That basically means that this container, it doesn't need to be activated. So it will just start when the page is loading, if that makes sense. This one though needs a trigger. So when I press something else, so when I'm pressing this button, this will start to animate. So let's do this one. And here are the different types of animations you can use. They have quite a few ones, which is super nice. But let's do slide. Then this will come up. And this should always be on, they're recommending it. But this one you can choose yourself. So hide before animating. That basically means, do you want this container to be visible from the beginning or do you want it to be gone? And only then be seen when you press this button. So let's have it off. We want to see this. And here comes the technical part of it. Here you can decide, okay, how do I want it to move? Do I want it to bounce? Do I want it to ease out, ease in? And you can try all of these different ones. It's fairly simple and you'll find the one you like the most. But let's do ease in, out. And the duration, we wanted to maybe have it like 1,000. So since this is sliding, we need to say, okay, where do this container start? So let's put it at -150. And then the final position is 150. So basically it will go from 0 to 100. So from here to here. Then you can also do a vertical slide, but let's just do a horizontal slide. Perfect. When we've done this, we can actually preview so we can see how it looks like. Look at that. But now we need something to trigger this. So let's make this trigger. And the only thing you need to do is basically do an action. And it's called animation, widget animation. And we will choose container 1, which is this one, right? And we want it to start animation. You can choose between these ones. Yeah, so let's try this. There you go. there we have triggered an animation. Let's talk about components, because they are actually very helpful when you're, especially when you're creating a little bit of a bigger app. I mean, this is an app that I'm currently creating, and right now I have 3 components here. I have this post, groups, and homepage, so I can't edit them here. What I've done is I have done components. And this basically means that these hard stuff, they are components. For example, if I want to post something, this is where I created it, and here is where I can edit it. And it's great because it can get really messy in these lists if you have too much stuff. I mean, look at this, it's already a lot, but this makes it so much easier. So components are basically just pages, you know, when you create a new page. It's kind of the same thing, but you go into a new component here. And they also have templates for all kinds of stuff. For example, if you want to log in with Google and Facebook and stuff like that. I'll just do a new one. And it would look like this. There's nothing wrong to keep it like this, although I like to actually put it in a phone. So I will just go up here, take 13, because this means when I start building it, it will have the right size. So here you actually just build as normally. Let's say I want to do a header again. I will just build it as I normally would. Let's say I want to have an image, I want to have a text, and I want to have a list view. No, let's do it like this. This is fine. Okay, so this would be homepage. And let's have another picture. Let's take this one. Okay, so here I have created my header. Something like that. Not very pretty, but you know how to do this. So if I want to use it in, let's use it on the homepage. If I want to use it here, what I basically do is I go back to my UI builder, and then I go to my components. So these are my components. And what did I call? Was it this one? Oh, test, right, sorry. So what I will do basically is just, okay, I have so much stuff here, hold on. I will just drag it in here like any widget, and it will come up here. This is super helpful, and as I said, you don't want this list to be too long. But what if I want to change this? This is also super easy. I will just go back to my pages, test. Now I want to have a new road. Let's say, learn more. There's nothing else I need to do on this page. When I go back to my homepage, this one has changed. How great is that? So I can change it as much as I want to here. And it will change on all the pages. So if I want the same header on all sides, I will just put this in, which means I don't have to rebuild the header every time I'm doing a new page. And the same goes for the footer. It's also really nice. I haven't done it yet here, but it's really nice to do your own component footer. Yeah, and that's basically it. Guys, let's look at how to implement OpenAI or ChatGPT into your FlutterFlow project. So OpenAI, their website has a lot of good information on how to actually do it, but it is a lot of information, and when I looked at it the first time, it was just confusing. But under create completion, you will find everything you need. But let's do it together. The first thing we need to do is to get our API key. And that page would look like this. You just have to click up here. And you would select create a new secret key. And what you want to do is you want to copy this and save it somewhere safe, because you will not be able to see this API key ever again. So save it, and perfect. And then basically what you need to do is you need to go into FlutterFlow, your project, and you will go into API calls. From here, we will just create an API call. Let's call it ChatGPT. And here is where all the information comes. So if we go back to this site, we can get all of that information that we need from here. I'm just gonna copy paste my API key just so I have it there. The first thing it tells us to do is to make it a post. So that's the method type. We're gonna put that to post. The next thing we need is the API URL, which we're gonna find here. We will copy that in there. Perfect. Then we can see here that H stands for header. So this is the first header that we're gonna need. Copy paste that as well, and we're gonna add a header just like that. Don't need to do anything else. We'll go back, we'll take the other one. And this is where you need your OpenAI key. So let's just copy the first here and put it in here. Yes. Okay, there you go. There you get your header. Now we need to go over to body. And this is a bit more complicated. This is basically the body. So let's just take that like that. We can just, we need to put this to JSON. And we will just copy paste that in here. So basically what we want to do here, first let's do a variable. So we will put user input. It's going to be a string and it's not going to be a list. I'm just going to I'm just going to add this one. You don't need to go out. I'm just going to show you my idea. So basically we'll have a page here where the user can write in a question. If they press search, this will be connected to the AI and it will get an answer here. Right. So basically what you want to do is kind of find an angle on what you want your users to ask. It could be anything, but let's say you're making an app about traveling. So you want to say to your OpenAI that my user will ask you these questions and you're gonna answer it this way, right? So my computer just shut off. But here we were. Okay, so we put in the post method, we have a name for it, we have the API URL, we have the two headers that we need. Make sure that you don't have like any other signs in like your text that goes into your body as well, because then the API won't be able to get through. Okay, so what I did is also I upgraded this a little bit. You could use the other one, it's very basic. But if I want to have a travel app, I want to make a prompt. I want to say I want you to answer these questions. So my prompt is recommend a travel destination based on my preferences. And then I will have a user input. So the user input would basically be what the user writes in, right? And this means a little bit of different things, but for example, temperature means, okay, how creative should OpenAI be? Max tokens means, okay, OpenAI, you can only answer with 250 words or tokens, and so on. So basically, when you've done this, you want to press save, because you are basically done here. And then we want to test API call. Okay, I think I just did it a while ago, so my computer might be a bit slow. But if you get up a status 200 success, that is great, because that means testing call fail. Okay, but I got this up, so that means that you have success with your API call. And here you can basically see what you can pick as JSON paths. And these are basically the ones that you will then later on implement in your design. So for example, it answered me with the Maldives, which is fine. I haven't asked anything yet. It understood that I want to travel somewhere. So it just gave me this one right now. And what I want to do, I want to have this choices text. So the answer that it gives me, same here. Okay. I'll select that and I'll go to selected. And I will, the name could be location. And then you want to save that. So the last thing that we want to do is make a variable. Did we do that? No. Okay, so I will have one called user input. This will be a string. Ta-da. Perfect. We will go back to our body and you can see that it actually put that in here already. So with this, we're actually done. Okay, wait, let's see if I just put in test. Success. Perfect. And then it says, since I didn't ask anything, it said, I would recommend Bangkok, Thailand as a travel destination based on your preferences. Ba 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 ba. Perfect. Then we are done with the first step. Save it again just in case, and we will go to and implement it into the design. Let's see how we would implement this here. Make sure you have a text field and make sure you have something to trigger the text that they write in here. I would use a button. Okay, so we're actually not going to do anything to the text field. We're going to do most of the things here. So let's open up our action flow. And we will add an action. We will search for API call. And we only have one. This is the one we just made, ChatGPT. And what we want to do here is we want to have an action output variable. So let's do OpenAI result. Then we know that that is the answer that the AI gives us. We want to add a variable, which is the user input, the variable that we added in the API, if you remember. And we're going to get that from our text field. I hope that makes sense. So as I said before, that the user input is what I ask for. And in our app, they will ask that a question in the text field that we put on our page. And then we're done. And then here it's going to give you the old name. Let's just change that. Go to action outputs, and then we will have OpenAI result. And this will be succeeded. This basically means if we go this way, it would say, okay, the OpenAI succeeded to answer the question. And this means it did not succeed. So the first thing we can do is say, okay, if it does not succeed, we will add an action and we will add a snack bar. And we can say, sorry, something went wrong. So they will get up a little pop-up that says, sorry, something went wrong. And then you can say, try it. Done. But if we succeed, we want to, do you remember that I showed you this is the answer, right? So we want to go from getting the data on one page to going to here. So if we go back here, we want to navigate, no, sorry. We want to open, it's not open, it's show. We want to show our chat answer. That's what I named the page that I did. And if it's confusing, this is not actually a page, it's a component. So that's why you say show bottom sheet. Perfect. Yes, so what we want to do is we want to send the information we got from here, from our API. And the way we're going to do that, we're going to do a parameter. So it immediately jumped me to this page, and I will have to add a parameter here. So let's say this is called a AI result page. This is going to be a string because we're sending a text, right? So that's just a string. Confirm. Perfect. And we go back here, and now it doesn't say edit, it says pass. And what we're gonna pass is action output. So this is the response that we have gotten back from our API. So we're gonna put this to JSON body and then put it to JSON path. And this is the JSON path name. We don't want a custom. We want them to answer our variable location, right? And now my computer is slow, hold on. Okay, let's go back. So we went to action outputs, OpenAI, we want JSON body, we want JSON path, and we want location. Confirm. Perfect. Now we know that we have actually sent the information that we got from this text and from the API to here. And the only thing we need to do now is connect this text so it will become the answer from ChatGPT, which is fairly simple. You just press here. We want to set this text from variable and we want to set it to the parameter. So we just got a parameter from the other side and it's called AI result page. And there we go. Let's try this. Before we do, maybe just add an action called dismiss bottom sheet. And yeah, let's try it. What else can I say about this? I mean, it is fairly simple. And if you just follow the I will add a documentation under from that OpenAI have posted. And I have gotten stuck here a lot. And that is basically mostly because I've forgotten to add like one of those. And you have to have that. Or there's a space somewhere there's not supposed to be there. So try to be super picky about those things. Yeah, and basically this is the JSON path we added, right? And I called it location. So that's what we're passing through. Okay. Let's see if I even get to that page. Maybe I have other pages. Let me just add a navbar, show navbar, and I'll have it here, and I'll have it on login. Okay. Say I want to go to a city in Peru where you can surf. If you want to surf in Peru, you should head to the city of Lima. The city has a number of great beaches where you can catch some waves. Look at that. Then I can press thanks and ask another question. So that was it. Thank you guys.